Hi everyone, it's Jo Carter. Welcome to my first wrap up of the year, but it is not a January wrap up despite the fact that it could pretty much qualify as one. But this year, like I said in a previous video, if you've seen it, I have decided not to do wrap ups based on month because it stresses me out. I feel like I have to have read 3 or more books in the month and I just don't want to put that pressure on myself, especially when I've got all these big books to read and I just want to enjoy it. So I'm actually doing a current read style, which will be my wrap-ups, and then I'll pick to do one video every 3 to 4 books. Right now I've got 4 to talk about, so let's get straight into it. So the first book I read of 2018 is The Return of the King by J.R.R. Tolkien, the last book in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, as I'm sure the majority of you guys will know. I've never read this trilogy before. This is the first run through of it, and I've also never watched the movies. I ended up giving The Return of the King 3 stars, mostly because the start was a bit slow. I found it hard to concentrate on, I think because it was war scene after war scene after war scene, and it just was very difficult for me to try and read it and pick it up and enjoy it without falling asleep if I was tired or getting my mind distracted. But then about halfway, when we get introduced to Sam and Frodo again, it was so interesting. I was reading quickly, I was pushing through the rest of it. It was great. So that's why I bumped it up to 3 stars instead of a 2, because it did really get interesting. I'm glad to have read this series. I enjoyed, again, Sam and Frodo's bits mostly, but I still enjoyed all of Merry and Pippin's stuff. I'm quite happy to have read this one. It's not, probably will never ever be one of my favourite series. I'll read the movie, I'll watch the movies and give them a go and see what I think. But overall, I'm glad to have read them, but I don't think, for me at least, they're not as amazing as what the hype has lived up to. But that's alright. Some you win, some you don't. I then finished off a book that I got for Christmas, which hopefully you guys will have already known about if I get my Christmas book haul up finally. But I got this edition of Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban for Christmas, which is by J.K. Rowling, and then this edition is illustrated by Jim Kay. Lovely, lovely drawings as usual. This cover is actually probably my favourite aesthetically. I quite like the first one because it's the first, and the second one because it's going to the Burrow and it feels like home. This one is a beautiful purple cover with all the gorgeous, like, the lettering here is like bumpy, and it's got this little, like, oh, it's an actual sticker. I didn't know that. It's got like 20 years of magic, of Harry Potter magic, and I thought it was like an embossed kind of thing, but it's a sticker. That's really cool. That's what the back looks like. I'll give you one picture at the very beginning because I don't want to spoil it. I hate being spoiled with stuff like this. But I'll see if I can find a proper... Okay, here, we'll just go with that. It's a drawing from the newspaper of the Weasleys in Egypt. Jim Kay is so talented as an artist. I absolutely love what he does. I'm, as usual with these, a bit disgruntled that some of the pages are like geometrical background. It's not really geometrical, but they're like background drawings. I'll see if I can, because I personally don't think that they're a spoiler. Let's see if I can find something. Like, say this. And it's like just a background pattern. I'm not going to hold it up because it's really heavy now. But I kind of wish that they had skipped on the background pictures and had just given us more illustrations. But I'm, again, just really, really happy to have illustrated editions. Like, I really shouldn't be complaining about anything aside from the fact that it's my right as a consumer to have an opinion on something. As usual, I absolutely love the story. I've given it 5 stars on Goodreads. It's so great. I love all the Harry Potter universe, and anything that gets added to it is generally really good in my opinion. So I can't wait for the next ones. How do you reckon they're going to do the next ones, by the way? Like, do you think they're going to do them in parts, or that they're going to be one big volume that it's really hard to lug around and is super expensive? I'm quite curious. I reckon they're going to do it in parts, but I've been wondering about this since they've started because the next volumes are massive. The next book I finished was Revealed, the 11th House of Night novel by PC and Kristen Cast. I ended up rating this book 3 stars, which was pretty good, and I feel pretty happy about it now that I've finished it. The start was beginning to irritate me because the girls in it, like they're called the Nerd Herd, but it's like the main group. They annoy me because of the way that they talk and how immature they can be sometimes. But overall, after we got past that stuff, I did quite enjoy the ending of this book, and the second half was pretty quick. Everything speeded up. There was less bitchy crap between them because the main sort of plot was coming into play, the main villain. They were having to stop that, and I quite enjoyed the rest of it. It's just, unfortunately, the teenage crap. And I know this is a young adult book. I know it is. But I feel like they overdo it with trying to be teenagey. And I get really annoyed, particularly in these later books, where they're supposed to be, like the bully that was in the first couple of books is supposed to have gone through a transformation. I believe she has. She's a different person. But then they still call her bitchy and hateful. And then if she says something that's not really bitchy, is just blunt and doesn't sugarcoat it, and they're like, oh, why are you being so bitchy and so hateful? And I'm like, you're talking about it behind her back. No wonder she's not nicer to you. Like, seriously? There's problems, and then like there's guy relationship problems as well, and I just like want to beat the main character over the head sometimes about the crap that she goes through with the boyfriends, and then her sort of love interest right now is seeming to change who he is just to fit a certain jealousy plotline, and it just doesn't seem like him at all. It sucks, but whatever. Anyways, I do like that she has multiple partners throughout this series. This is book 11, so obviously we've gone through like a lot of them, and I think it's quite realistic for her to have had multiple partners, because generally you don't just meet that one person and that's it for the rest of your life. So I do like that. I'm just thinking that now that it's book 11, and I'm pretty sure the guy that she's with now, she was like introduced to him in like the 6th book, and they're still having problems. I'm like, really? Like, come on. If you're having that many problems, why are you still together? But I'm looking forward to the last book in the series, number 12, with less apprehension than I was before. I'm actually quite looking forward to this. I read it really quickly, and I'm excited to see how it all ties up in a way, and how they also destroyed their villain that has been the villain since the first book and has still survived. So yeah, looking forward to that one, and I gave, again, this one 3 stars. And the last book I read in this current reads video, this is the 4th book that I've read this year. I don't know if you could tell, but I just accidentally threw it to the ground. It is part of one of my challenges that I wanted to have, was that with every current reads video, I wanted to have read one in this horse series that I have. So it's the Thoroughbred series by Joanna Campbell. I've been collecting these little horse novels since I was young, and I have a ton that haven't been read yet, and so it is one of my goals this year, like I said, to with every current reads video I do, I have to have had one book to talk about that I've read. So I did just that. I read Waiting for Stardust by Joanna Campbell. It's actually the spin-off series to the main Thoroughbred series, the Ashley ones, which is based on this girl that how do I explain this? So the Thoroughbred series is all about girls aging from 12 to 16-year-olds riding racehorses. Yes, it's not realistic. That's not the point of it. And the Ashley series is the main character in the first couple of novels of the Thoroughbred series. Her name's Ashley, and it's about before her family went onto the horse racing farm. So it's like a bit of just like a before story, and how they got there and her adventures, and how she became a rider that she is today, which I actually quite enjoyed this volume for it, because one of the main themes in the Thoroughbred series is that Ashley doesn't like whips, and this volume actually gives a bit of backstory to it that I really liked. I actually found this a lot more of an enjoyable volume than other ones that I've read in this series. I must also mention that there is a ghostwriter for the majority of these books, because there are 80, and the main author in the original series wrote about books 1 to 5, and then it went to ghostwriters, and in these ones I think it's just starting to transition into ghostwriters after this one, the number 3, because the author does a thank you. The author wishes to thank Mary Newhall Anderson for her help in writing this book, and Mary goes on to write more books in the main series. But I found that this writing, after that long explanation, was very quality. I really enjoyed it. There was part of the plot revolves around a 12-year-old or 10-year-old girl's arguments with each other, like her and her best friend have arguments, but I thought it was really realistic. whilst also still being a problem. I just felt it was really well rounded and really realistic, and I really enjoyed it. So I gave this one 4 stars. It was nice to be in a calm, quick universe, so I'll be looking forward to the rest of these as well. So those are all the 4 books that I ended up reading for this current reads video. So that's 1 to 4 already done. And I will see you guys next time. I'm starting to read Brazinga by Christopher Paolini. I'm so excited because I've been looking for Brazinga for ages, and then my mum actually said, hey, I've got them and I don't read them. Do you want them? So I said, of course, definitely. And so now I'm starting to read Brazinga because I'm quite excited to do that. And I've actually got a buddy to read it with. It's a girl on Instagram. I'll tell you more about it once I've read it and the experience and everything. But this is my 2nd time that I'm buddy reading with someone, and I'm really excited. So I'll see all of you guys next time, because I have to go and pack now because I'm going to Wollongong tomorrow to visit my sister. My birthday is on Monday, and this video will probably get posted later, so it was Monday the 5th of February. And Saturday I'm actually going up to meet an author. Her name is Lynette Noni, the author of the Akane series, the Madoran Chronicles. She's having a young adult book meet in Dimmicks on Saturday the 3rd of February, so this is really bad advertising because, like I said, I'm gonna do it afterwards. But I just want to tell you guys because I'm quite excited, and hopefully after this you'll see me doing a bit of a video about the books that I got and maybe my experience. That could be fun. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye!